G'day everyone, SGD here. Of all the Transformers introduced in 1985, the Dinobots are definitely the fan favourites. They have some stiff competition from Devastator, but dinosaurs are incredibly toyetic, and with the Dinobots originally being characterised as mavericks among the Autobots, they're a slam dunk in toy sales. No one can beat the Dinobots! Since starring in the fourth Transformers film, The Age of Extinction, the Dinobots have been released 3 times in the Generations line, with a possible 4th release if Hasbro redecos the entire set in their G2 colours. But between each of these releases, one Dinobot is missing, and with that, a big opportunity. Fire-breathing mecha lizards. Originally coming from Diaclone's Dinosaur Robo subline, the original Dinobot lineup consisted of 5 toys depicting the most quintessential dinosaurs of the early 1980s. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, Triceratops, Pteranodon, Stegosaurus, and Brontosaurus. It can't be understated how popular the Dinobots were during the original run. Grimlock would be among the few characters to receive 3 toys, along with Jazz, Optimus Prime, Starscream, and technically Megatron. Only Bumblebee exceeds this at 4 toys. The classic Pretender inner robots for Grimlock, Jazz, Bumblebee, and Starscream would even be released twice too. Snarl with Stegosaurus would also receive an Action Master in 1990. Good on you, Snarl. Generation 2 would re-release 3 of the 5 Dinobots, Grimlock, Snarl, and Slag, each with 3 colour variants. While Swoop and Sludge were planned for a future assortment of Dinobots, along with a 4th variant of Grimlock, this never eventuated. One can only speculate as to why this was the case, as it's never been publicly stated. 1993's Jurassic Park was highly influential in pop culture relating to dinosaurs, and that includes Transformers. In 1996's Beast Wars, Grimlock would change alt modes, going from a Tyrannosaurus Rex to the Velociraptor, recently popularised by the film, while Beast Wars, especially on the Japanese side, would have a myriad of dinosaurs not associated with the original Dinobots. This Grimlock toy is the one most important to us today, as it marks the first true change to the original Dinobot lineup to match the newfound popularity of a dinosaur species. While Beast Machines would include a new team of Dinobots to bulk out the line in a cost-effective way, each toy was a redeco, it was an entirely new team. It wasn't until 2004 until the original Dinobots got a new member. In the pages of the anthology novel Transformers Legends, we would find a story titled Paddles, named after the new Dinobot, Paddles. Paddles was a plesiosaur, and unlike the other Dinobots, extremely friendly, though brave when needed. He's also slow-witted, like the rest of the Dinobots. Paddles hasn't appeared outside of that story, though fans ask for him quite regularly. It's more than likely that he doesn't reappear due to the fact he has a similar body shape to Sludge, who coincidentally doesn't appear in that story. In 2013, IDW Comics would introduce another Dinobot, though this one died in battle before the actual story. Scar, the Ankylosaurus. Characterized as the medic of the group, Scar appears in 2 flashbacks, and that's it. Scar got his first toy recently in Transformers Legacy, though this was actually out of necessity, as this set of Dinobots is a pre-tool for another Combiner set. This does, however, open up the possibility of a more traditional Scar in the future. In late 2017, we would see the first true return to the original Dinobots, and with that, our first new Dinobot toy. Enter Volcanicus. In the third and final part of the Prime Wars trilogy, Power of the Primes, the Dinobots would receive their first complete set of new toys since 1985. In keeping with the theme of Prime Wars, these Dinobots have a new play pattern shared with the rest of that year's product. Like all of the Power of the Primes and Combiner Wars, these Dinobots utilize the Scramble City play pattern. They combine. While the Scramble City-esque combination of the Dinobots isn't completely unheard of, Volcanicus is the first time Hasbro has done it in a toy line. Though the idea of the Dinobots combining is still contentious among the fanbase, as is the legacy of Combiner Wars and Power of the Primes, Volcanicus has since resurfaced in multiple pieces of media, seemingly cementing the Dinobots as a combiner team. There is another thing that the Dinobots share with the other Scramble City combiners of the Prime Wars trilogy, a Legends class member. This would be Slash, the Velociraptor. A proper Velociraptor Dinobot was a long time coming, as it had become an incredibly popular dinosaur with the release of Jurassic Park. Slash was more a matter of time than anything. Serving as the team's tracker, again taken from Jurassic Park, or more likely the at the time contemporary Jurassic World, Slash is also the first female Dinobot in a toy line. While likely done for the sake of diversity, it can also be seen as another nod to Jurassic Park, where the dinosaurs are born female by design. This has, of course, led the fanbase to many clever girl memes. Slash is also notable for another reason. She doesn't actually come from Power of the Primes. It's not even the first Slash toy, just the first one in the G1 universe and the first one with the G1 styling. She was first introduced in 2014, along with another Dinobot. Life finds a way. 2014's Age of Extinction brought the Dinobots back to the center stage as the focal point of the film and toy line. Technically starring all of the original 5, though Swoop became a two-headed Pteranodon named Strafe, while Sludge was renamed Slog, Age of Extinction also added to the core cast of Dinobots. We of course have Slash, who was cut from the film, but not the toy line. Due to a miscommunication, Slash is referred to as male in promotional material, despite the designer intent for the character to be female. The other addition was only briefly in the film, and is presumably another Jurassic Park reference. Scorn, the Spinosaurus. In a rather interesting choice from the designers, Scorn would reuse much of the engineering from Beast Wars Megatron, where the arms would be formed by the head and tail of the Beast Mode. As Scorn only briefly appears in Age of Extinction, he doesn't have much of a personality. Not that any of the Dinobots from the film have much of a personality. He's the demolitions expert of the Dinobots, and very good at his job due to the size and power of the Spinosaurus. But that's about all he's got. He does seem to be a very popular design, however, as for no apparent reason, Scorn would receive 2 completely new toys in 2017's The Last Night, including a Voyager toy. Evidently, someone really liked Scorn, or Scorn sells very well. I need Spinosaur power now! Power of the Primes has some rather baffling choices in retrospect, in particular the mold shared by Starscream and Elita 1. Starscream has no limbs associated with him, and his combined form has no name, while Elita 1 was seemingly created to reuse the Starscream mold. Her team would only be completed via exclusives, all of which share the same base mold. These toys, among others, scream a filler in a line that was cut short anyway. Power of the Primes also has a lot of missed opportunities. Some I'll talk about in a later video, but the one that sticks out in the context of today's video is expanding the teams via alternative torsos. While many teams were actually expanded, never in this way. That is where Scorn comes in. Scorn is the only Dinobot that appeared in Age of Extinction left out of Power of the Primes, yet he was popular enough to receive 2 new toys in 2017 for a film he didn't even appear in. It's perplexing. The Spinosaurus is a rather large dinosaur and an impressive one at that, perfect for a combiner torso. Slash doesn't actually have any functionality with Volcanicus the way the other Legion class toys did with their combiners. She could have merged with Scorn. With the bulk of Power of the Primes releasing in 2018, it doesn't seem like the late 2017 release of Voyager Scorn from The Last Knight would interfere. If we could have Slash in both The Last Knight and Power of the Primes, why not Scorn? With Scorn being a new addition to the team, along with Slash, they actually position quite well narratively, not only being paired together, but by playing into a bit of the story beats from Power Rangers. The evil 6th Ranger, maybe not an out-and-out Decepticon, but being at loggerheads with Grimlock, in turn giving Grimlock exactly what he gives Prime. Someone that will help when the chips are down, but is normally insubordinate. A maverick among mavericks. Scorn reusing the Beast Wars Megatron engineering also feels like retool potential. Scorn just feels like a natural fit that would have added to the brand as a whole, but was just left completely unused. I'm not sure what the chances are that we'll ever see Scorn again. Even Slash was left out as Cyberverse, and that series had a Dinobot subline at the end. There isn't really any reason to add either of them to the current crop of Generations Dinobots, as those were specifically designed for the 1986 film. The only place you could realistically put them is in the normal Generations line. But I'd like to see them come back. Scar getting a normal toy would be really nice too. However, it feels like the boat has sailed until the next time Hasbro puts out a team of Dinobots. Which is a shame. If you enjoyed today's video and want more Transformers content, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. Till next time friends, this has been SGD, and thanks for watching.